So I think I've spent a record-breaking £4 on makeup over the last 2 months. So this quarterly update might be a little bit thin on the ground, but I do feel like in July I made a few more purchases. That's kind of where the bulk of my purchases are going to be coming from. So if you've not watched one of these types of videos before, it's basically just going through my makeup inventory, what I've spent my money on, products that I've emptied, and just keeping a bit more of a tracker and being a bit more conscious as to what I'm consuming. I do feel like over the summer I've been really busy, so I just haven't been in that consuming beauty mindset. I feel like I've been living out of a makeup bag, so I've just been diving into my own collection quite a bit more, and yeah, I just haven't been really hot on the new releases, haven't been like browsing Space NK, Cult Beauty, Sephora, like all of those online retailers, haven't really been in store shopping anywhere either, so that's probably why I just haven't made as many purchases. So I will start with going through each category in my collection and telling you what the numbers are at the moment for Q3. And the overall number actually really surprised me because I do feel like I've spent a lot of money on makeup, but I feel like the numbers would maybe say otherwise, but I won't spoil too much. So for my primers, I have actually just recently emptied one. It wouldn't have been in my most recent empties video. And if you are interested in just other general beauty products that I'm using, whether it be hair care, I was about to say beauty, but that is the overall category, hair care, skincare, body care as well, then I do recommend just checking out my empties videos because I do cover a lot more in there. And then you can also get a few sneak peeks as to the makeup as well that I'm emptying, but I don't think this made it into that video. So I do have 3 primers now, and I think even one of my glowy ones, my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I think that is also very close to being finished. So we might only have 2 primers by the end of the year if I don't purchase another one, which I don't know, I don't see myself buying another primer necessarily. I have a glowy one, I have a nice gripping one as well, which I use for longevity. So I feel like I have my primers kind of covered at the moment. My foundations and other bases, whether that be skin tints, tinted moisturizers, that's still at 6. That number has not changed at all so far this year. Hasn't gone up, has not come down, so that's still currently at 6. For concealer, I did empty my RMS. I think that was in the last quarterly update, but I did purchase a new concealer, the Huda Beauty one. Concealers was one of the low buy categories, so I only wanted to purchase 3 this year. I've actually only purchased 1, and we're now in the final quarter of the year, so I feel like maybe that'll be it. Maybe I'll buy another one, but I definitely feel like I've stuck to that low buy, so pretty happy with that. My powders, I'm still at 4. I am making really good progress on my Bite Beauty powder, which is in my project pan. It's one of the powders that I really want to try and finish up. I don't think I'll have it done by the end of the year, but hopefully not too far into next year we can let that one go. I am on a no buy for powders. Like I say, I have 4 in my collection and I'm very happy with those 4. Currently trying to focus on the Bite Beauty one, so I don't need to be adding anything else into my collection. My bronzers are at 7. I am quite close to finishing a couple of bronzers actually, but that number is still at 7. I haven't purchased any new ones. Blush has gone up by 2 actually, so I now have 20 blushes in my collection. I did acquire 2 cream blushes over the summer months, so that's kind of why that number has crept up a little bit. I don't really finish blush easily. It's not a category that I go through very quickly, so I can only see that number going up. It's quite rare that I finish a blush, so yeah, currently have 20. The next 2 categories, again, haven't changed. So my highlighters, I still have 3. I did pick up the new Charlotte Tilbury one in January of this year. Since then, I haven't finished up any other ones, haven't purchased any other ones, so that one is still at 3. And then for my face palettes, again, still at 2. I don't tend to buy face palettes very often. They are quite good to travel with. I do enjoy my Hourglass one, but yeah, not a makeup category that I tend to purchase a lot. And also they're very hard to finish up because you have multiple pans in obviously one product. So yeah, I don't know. This might be at 2 for like the rest of my life. My setting spray has gone up to 2 actually. So I do have like a 1 in, 1 out policy. for my setting spray, but I did get gifted one over the summer, so that's why that number has gone up to 2. My brow products, I finished up the Kosas Brow Pot Pencil, so my brow products are now sitting at 4. And I feel quite happy with that at the moment. I do have 2 clear brow gels on the go, so I'd like to finish one of those up, and then I will have my perfect trio of brow products, a brow pencil, a tinted brow gel, and a clear brow gel. I feel like for me that's all I really need, all I use on my brows. Occasionally I will dip into a powder, but I have a few eyeshadows that work as a brow powder as well. So I'm happy with that, happy with 4 at the moment, hoping by the end of the year we can get that down to 3. My single / cream eyeshadows are at 5. This is the same as the last quarter. Haven't finished any, haven't bought any more into my collection. I would really love to pick up a couple more single shadows, cream shadows. I feel like they're products I get a lot of use out of, and I really enjoy a one and done eyeshadow look, and cream shadows typically are perfect for that. So I would like to pick up a couple more. So maybe that number will increase. I feel like my eye category in general, so eyeshadow palettes, mascaras, eyeliners, there's not been a lot of movement actually. For my smaller eyeshadow palette, so this is eyeshadow duos, trios, quints, and quads and quints. This is still at 5, so no changes there. And then my larger eyeshadow palette, so anything with 6 pans or more, is at 7. Again, that hasn't changed since last time either. With eyeshadow palettes, it's kind of similar to blush. It's not a category that I am going to really go through rapidly or use up anytime soon. So unless I am decluttering an eyeshadow palette because I'm not using it anymore, that number is probably only going to increase. My eyeliners are still at 3. I have 2 pencils and 1 liquid, and yeah, I feel quite happy with that. I don't always use eyeliner. A lot of the times if I'm using a larger eyeshadow palette, I will just use one of the deeper shades in whatever palette I'm using and smudge that on the lash line to kind of give the illusion of a liner. My mascara is still at 1. That's really good because that is a kind of 1 in, 1 out category for me. So I only like to have 1 on the go at any given time. So we are sticking to that, so that's good. Lip liner, I have 7. So I've just added 1 into my collection. And that's actually quite a recent purchase. So excited about that. I don't mind having a few more lip options to choose between. I feel like lip products is definitely a category that I will switch up season to season. So I like to have a bit of variety. So I have also added 1 lipstick into my collection as well. So that total is at 20. And my lip gloss hasn't changed. That's still at 7. So I feel like we've had like quite a good quarter in terms of products I've used up and products that I've bought into my collection. I feel like it's been quite an even split. My overall total inventory is 110. Last quarter it was 106, so I've added in 4 products, which I was surprised at because, like I said, I haven't felt like I've been buying a lot of makeup. I definitely feel like I used up more than what I bought into my collection, but clearly that isn't the case. The numbers don't lie. So yeah, we're sitting at 110. So that was my overall makeup inventory. Breaking that down a little bit more and taking it month by month, what I bought into my collection that month, what I kind of spent my money on. So in July, this was where the majority of the makeup entered my collection for this quarter. So I picked up 4 things in July overall. I think I did a cult beauty order, guess. Looking at the brands, I'm pretty sure this was a cult beauty order. So I picked up the Huda Beauty corrector, I picked up a Vive lipstick and a Too Faced setting spray. The setting spray was to replace my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray, so that was fine. And then I just added the other 2 as well into my basket for curiosity. And then later in the month, I also picked up 1 of the e.l.f. putty blushes, a formula I've always wanted to try. I really enjoy the bronzer, wearing it today. And I mean, they are so affordable, so yeah, I picked that up a little bit later in the month. So that's £81 that I spent on makeup in July, which I feel like is a bit more than I would typically spend just in 1 month. But August and September were very, very light on makeup purchases for me, so it did kind of even itself out in the end. I did empty 1 product in July, which was my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. So obviously my Too Faced one was just bought in replacement for that. In August, I did get 2 products gifted from e.l.f. for my birthday. So I got the setting spray and one of their stick blushes in Glistening Peach, I believe the shade is. So I didn't actually pay for those, but that was 2 products that came into my collection. I did also use up my Kosas brow pencil in August, so that's 1 empty for August. And then in September, I only bought 1 product actually, and that was the NYX lip liner in the shade Leon, which is a really nice, like warm terracotta, like very much the shades that I gravitate towards in the autumn. Just a really nice kind of terracotta warm, like brick shade. So really enjoyed that. Love the NYX lip liner formulas, again super cheap, so I think they're about £4. And then I finished up my NARS primer as well. Again, that was quite recently that I used that one up. So in total for Q3 I bought 7 products into my collection, spent £85, and I used up 3 products. So in comparison to the first half of the year, I spent less this quarter on makeup than I have done in previous quarters, and I definitely thought that that would be the case. If I am buying makeup, I really enjoy just perusing the drugstore at the moment. I love going into Boots, Superdrug, and just seeing what is kind of new at the drugstore, what products I haven't tried before, what kind of jumps out at me. I don't remember the last time I even went into Space NK. Actually no, I did go in August and buy something, but it wasn't makeup, so it doesn't count. So that was my Q3 update. We have 1 quarter left of the year, which is just absolutely insane. So I think my next one will probably be a bit of a longer video, because I'll obviously do my Q4 wrap up, and then we will do like an entire just yearly overview. So if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.